Ciao. What's up, everybody? All right, so we're gonna do more updates for Saigon for the good old virus thing. Yeah, so they're ramping up closures of things and trying to really crank down pretty hard in Saigon now. I don't see as much people out as I look off my balcony. I will be getting a COVID test today, so I'll be out. So I'll let you know what it looks like, maybe film some stuff when I'm out doing that. But before we get into the article, we have the new channel, the IRL streaming channel. The link is in the description. If you could go over there and subscribe to that. We really need to get to 1,000 on that. It's the only way I can stream. So if you do want to see me live stream, that's going to be the platform I do it on. And the quicker we get to 1,000, the quicker I can live stream for you all. So we got Reporter Bear here. He says hello. Winnie's watching from the side, distracting me.
That's my bear.
Yes. Ho Chi Minh City urges travel restriction among people to curb virus spread. Ho Chi Minh City authorities have called on people to refrain from going outside unless necessary from midnight Saturday until further notice to stall COVID-19 infections. So, reading between the lines on that, I'm going to assume that they probably have more cases that they are about to report and are very much suspecting that there's going to be a significant ramp up of infections here. So they're trying to pre-curb the spreading of it. In an urgent order issued on Friday evening, the People's Committee of Ho Chi Minh City tasked the Municipal Department of Information and Communications with spreading the travel restriction recommendation to all residents. So before we get to the next thing, the reason I'm getting a COVID test is the government has asked anyone that was in Da Nang during the time I was in Da Nang get tested, and like a good boy, I'm going to go do what they ask. I don't mind, swab me, whatever. I don't want to be getting other people sick. I was a good boy though, and as we all know, I self-quarantined for 14 days after I got home from my honeymoon / workcation. So personally, I think I'm fine. I don't feel that I have any corona. I stay away from people anyways when I go walk and do those walking things, so there's really no tight interactions and stuff like this. Yeah. Also, I'm pretty on the elevator too. Like, I will only take an elevator by myself. One, it's faster. Like, a lot of people that live here haven't learned that if there's even 2 people in the elevator with you, your elevator ride takes twice as long than what it would take to just wait for one to come back down and you're the solo rider back to your floor. At least for me, because I'm all the way up at the top. So yeah, I already followed protocol before they were even asking for it. I was fully aware that I was in a spot where it was coming from, so I just made the choice to sit it out at home for 14 days. I had enough content. All that content you saw from the workation, honeymoon, was already shot and edited, so yeah. Anyways, back to the article at hand. The People's Committee directed the authorities of districts and Thu Duc City to continue suspending physical therapy establishments. This is where it gets interesting here. This is the list of all the stuff they want closed now. Physical therapy establishments, massage and steam inhalation services, amusement and entertainment areas, theaters, cinemas, wedding venues, buffet service establishment, dining services with singing activities, karaoke parlors, discos, bars, pubs, beer clubs, game centers, internet cafes, indoor sports, fitness establishments, sports centers, and public sports training areas in the city. So yesterday, all the public sports outdoor areas were fully popping and alive. So we'll see how that goes. Religious ceremonies and festival activities with 20 or more participants shall be suspended. So then let's go to restaurants. Any small restaurant is to close. So if they have a staff of 10 or less, they need to close and only do delivery food. Any restaurant that has a large staff or 10 or more can remain open, but must have only 20 people in at a time with social distancing put through. Yes, I did a lot of research on this one. I want this to be a good video, so I pre-did a bunch of knowledge on this one. And I have friends in the restaurant business, and we talked about it yesterday. Okay. People must follow social distancing rules and avoid gatherings on Win Way and Bui Vien pedestrian streets and public parts in the city. Small-scale restaurants and street food businesses are not permitted to offer dine-in services and are requested to increase takeouts, delivery services, and online payments. Which I think could be a good pivot. Like a lot of these, like the noodle lady that got her sickness, a lot of these places could potentially earn more income from a pivot into the digital market and using like a Grab. Although the margins are thin and Grab takes a bunch, but trying to figure out some kind of delivery service and online payment is probably a good thing for a lot of these businesses stepping forward for forever. Maybe they were slow to it. Maybe they just wanted to do all cash. If they're wise, they'll kind of jump on board with this, if you know what I'm saying, and get that really hoppa loppin'. The delivery staff must ensure adequate measures to prevent and control transmission, especially wearing a face mask and keeping a safe distance. Restaurants, including those inside hotels, are allowed to operate, but must arrange distancing seats to keep two people at least 2 meters apart and not serve more than 20 people at a time. The restaurants also have to ensure food hygiene and safety and strictly implement COVID-19 prevention control measures as per regulations of health authorities. All right, so pretty much before we get to the rest of the article, what's really happening is this is very reminiscent of the first wave lockdown when they became very serious about closing shit. So that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing them really go back to how it was the first lockdown. I would say if we get 10 or 20 more cases in a week, they're going to just fully, these are heavy suggestions right now. These will be like mandatory if that happens, in my opinion. The authorities of districts in Thu Duc City must directly inspect the business establishments and impose fines on violators detected via CCTV systems and or other measures and technology equipment. The municipal authorities also ordered the suspensions of all meetings and unnecessary gatherings in large numbers. All in-person transactions shall be shifted to online mode. Gatherings of more than 30 attendees in one room is prohibited. Gathering of 20 more people outside of offices, hospitals, and schools are also banned. All people coming into offices and state-run departments and agencies are subject to body temperature measurements. The heads of the departments and agency and the chairpersons of Thu Duc City and districts are responsible before the People's Committee of Ho Chi Minh City for any gathering of more than 30 people at a time. They also have the direct functional forces to regularly inspect and request people to not gather in public places in accordance with regulations. Cadres, civil servants, and public employees of Saigon must set examples in complying with the regulations on COVID-19 prevention and control set by the municipal health authorities. Legislative elections for the 15th National Assembly and People's Councils for the 2021 to 26 must ensure medical safety. Buses and contract vehicles must not carry more than 20 passengers or exceed 50% of their design capacity.
I did talk too fast.
Usually I can't read this fast because I'm a retard, but not a retard. I don't mean it like that. Don't cancel me. So the elections are tomorrow, to be honest with you, and it sounds like people don't really go out and vote too much. Winnie explained how her mom voted, and I was like, what? She picks whoever looks good in the picture? I'm like, what? So I don't think we're going to see much change from the elections tomorrow. Time will tell. We'll see. Who knows? Buses and vehicles must not carry more than 20 passengers or exceed 50% of their designated capacity. Passengers are required to wear face masks, sit alternately on rows of seats, make medical declarations according to regulations. Taxis and cars providing ride shares with less than 9 seats can continue their operation as long as the operators strictly comply. What's wrong with my reading? I was doing really good there. Comply with regulations on pandemic prevention and control. Transport service providers can reject passengers who do not comply with regulations. And yes, I still see expats walking around without a mask. They're pretty much the only ones I ever see without a mask on. Kid you not. Same as it's always been every wave. What what can I do? Yeah, there's Vietnamese without masks on too. But it's usually Vietnamese without masks are usually like really old people, or like a 60-year-old dude that's smoking a cigarette every 5 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? There have been the restrictions are put in place as the metropolis seeks to enhance COVID-19 prevention and control measures to contain the number of cases in the city. There have been 6 locally transmitted COVID-19 patients in Ho Chi Minh City in the current wave of infections. The 4th wave, which erupted on April 27th, follows a woman without any known community transmission in Vietnam. The country so far has registered 1,912 domestic infections in 30 provinces and cities in this bout, according to the health data. The ministry has confirmed 4,961 local and imported coronavirus cases, 2,689 recoveries since the virus first hit January 23rd, 2020. The pathogen-related death toll amounted to 41, with most having suffered critical pre-existing health problems. Also, the noodle shop lady, her infection came from Da Nang. So that after they found out her infection came from Da Nang, that's kind of when they announced this article. Let me check on my other news source to make sure nothing new has come out, and then I can wrap this up, get this uploaded, and you guys have the information. If you want to know about the expert visa thing, that is in the previous video of the news. Go ahead and watch that. I'm not going to recycle that news again. But pretty much, in short, if you are trying to get it on an expert visa, you can only do it legitimately. You have to have a college degree in that field even. They are checking all the paperwork. They are interviewing you. They are doing their due diligence now. I've heard from 2 of my agents that they're not even processing any expert visas right now because of this flare-up here. So I think the getting here situation is going to be next to impossible or cost you a lot of money. I've already done a full video on this. You can go and check that out, even though there's not going to be a bubble there. I'm pointing like other YouTubers do. But I'll have it as the suggested video for this one. So if you want to see about the expert visa thing, it'll be the video playing right after this. So just hold through and you can watch about the expert visa thing. Let me see. Make sure I'm up to date, and then we're good. We're gooch. That's it, folks. Vietnam's trying to get the vaccine everywhere now. They are asking every country to help, everything. I don't think anybody's going to be quick to give us any vaccines. Let's just put it that way. We shall see. Time will tell. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one, and peace out.